Hey everybody, welcome into the Wrestling Ramble. This is your night 1 recap slash night 2 preview as well as match predictions. And then tomorrow I'll have the night 2 review as well as like reactions to the of the events on night 2 as well as like the whole weekend. Um so with without further ado, let me just make sure all my stuff is opened up here. One, two. Um, yeah. So I I just thought night one was a solid night of wrestling. It but but there just wasn't really there were a lot of surprising things, a lot of things that certainly took me by surprise. Things that I didn't see coming. Um, Specifically in the tag match, which I'll delve into when we get to that between New Day and War Raiders. They um, they actually gave gave New Day the tag title victory um, at WrestleMania. That was a nice surprise, like a really kind of shocking surprise. Um, at the in the middle of night 1. So we'll see what Triple H can do with this. I mean, let let's put New Day into some really interesting programs that the viewer can kind of sink its teeth into. And the talent can kind of sink their teeth into as well. But first, let's let's start at the beginning of the show. So the first match on night 1 was um, Jey Uso versus Gunther. I thought I thought it was a solid match for for like Jay's kind of limited ability, and Gunther Gunther really put him over hard. Um, like there was a point in the match where I don't want to say it ruined it for me, but it kind of took me out of it where Jey Uso was be, like winning a test of strength battle with Gunther, and it just it didn't suspend my disbelief. It like and well, it wasn't believable. And when you go to kind of sign up for a Gunther match, you sign up for the believability. Could this actually happen? And like Jey Uso's not like a he's not a guy that would want to get into a fist fight. He's a lot more like a, a lot more akin to maybe Floyd Mayweather. Like his in ring style is very kind of not defensive, but like he doesn't really really do a whole lot. He kind of waits for his opportunities. But anyway, with a match like Jey Uso versus Gunther, I thought it was a good match to start the show, and the crowd was hot for Jay. They were very happy to see him win, as was I, um, because that guy uh, going from the tag team guy to Roman's cousin at the start of the Bloodline to the right hand man to this single star. It's something super special, and I think I think there's plenty more good things ahead for Jey Uso, and I certainly can't wait to see it. Um, So with with that kind of out of the way, I know we kind of had a very kind of hodgepodge start to this, but with that out of the way, let's get to Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which Rey Mysterio actually needed to be replaced in the match by um, by a debuting Rey Fenix, and I I thought Chad Gable really he really bumped his tail off for Rey Fenix. He really made him look like, oh my gosh, this guy may have a chance here. But at the end of the day, Gable used like a metal. I don't want to. I'm not sure if it was like a metal plate in his mask, but like that's kind of what it looked like on TV. Um, so yeah, but Chad Gable finally gets that proverbial monkey off his back in this kind of, unfortunately to say, like sort of throwaway program, and this is I feel like this time last year, like I know they were kind of cooling Chad Gable down as a baby face, and it was just like the story with Gunther is right there, but they again, like WWE's creative didn't really do a whole lot with him, and um but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so yeah, very I was entertained by the match. Um, it was good to see Gable get a WrestleMania win, even if it was under an alias, even if it was under a mask. That's still Chad Gable under the mask. So um, that's good for him, good for the person. Um, hey, he can at least tell the grandkids I won at WWE's biggest show of the year. So that's it's good for him. And hold on, let's get to the World Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and the New Day. Um, I I thought I thought the New Day played the cowardly heel um they played the cowardly heels so effectively. Like they always throughout the match they really tried to stick and move, and really it really felt kind of like an actual fight. Like both teams kind of came in with a certain strategy, and um that was kind of that's kind of the dance of it all. Is can 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 you and your opponent make it look like you're actually in a fight, like make this look like this was your game plan. Um and in a real fight you're obviously not working with the other guy, but you know what I mean, like you actually come in with a self a self-described game plan, and both I felt like both teams executed their game plans perfectly. The War Raiders used a lot of their powerful offense to take control and kind of make the comeback and get the crowd back on their side. The ending of the match was really interesting. Um, it how can I describe this? So um, There's New Day. Um, so Kofi Kingston's on the outside of the ring, and he and Woods had just hit. He and Xavier Woods had just hit their finisher, and Ivar was in the ring, and so or actually they just hit their finisher on Ivar, and Woods goes for the cover, 1, 2, and then right as like or actually Woods goes for the cover, and then as soon as Kofi sees that Woods is going for the pin, he instinctively grabs Ivar's like outside leg, the one that's kind of like the one that's going to be underneath the bottom rope, and he he just keeps yanking on it until the ref essentially counts three, because like he couldn't. I guess what they were going for is that like he can't use his leg strength to power to to get his shoulders up. But yeah, I thought it looked kind of awkward live, but credit to them for trying something new. And while it didn't exactly work for me, like I can really see that working for, or actually, now that I think about it, actually, you know what? It was a very effective ending, and it just puts tremendous heat on uh the New Day. Like it gives them such like, oh god, I hate these guys um kind of vibe to them. So um so that's good to see. Like I was I was I was 4-3 on the night one WrestleMania predictions. Hold on. 7. So, um, I thought the ending to that match really did work. With that being said, let's get into the United States Championship match between L.A. Knight and Jacob Fatu. Um, I thought I thought this match was good. Um, L.A. Knight and Jacob Fatu, they worked they worked their tails off tonight or last night. They definitely earned their paychecks. Um, and the finish to the match was was a kind of like a BFT into the Samoan drop. Um, so LA Knight has Jacob Fatu in position for the BFT, and then Jacob, like, it looked like he kind of turned it around in like mid motion and or mid move, and got LA Knight on his shoulders, and um, hit him with the Samoan drop. 1, 2, 3. We have a new United States champion. I thought the, the match was just absolutely incredible. Um, let's get to the semi main event spot where Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair. Uh, Yep. So, t- this match was, it might have been the second least um cared about match among like the casual WrestleMania viewer, like as opposed to with the first being probably um Jey Uso and Gunther, because no, like going into this feud, and aside from that one promo 2 weeks ago, people just didn't care about the Charlotte Flair Tiffany Stratton feud. Myself included. It just felt like a heatless affair with two people who just would say the most random generic things about each other, and like we're building toward our biggest show of the year. Like, hello, like you're the people that watch your show kind of need some spice, but the match itself I thought was fine. Both both um both Tiffany and Charlotte sold really well for the other one. Um, T- Tiffany Stratton hit the prettiest moonsault ever to win the match and actually retain her title, which I was actually wrong about as well in the predictions. But yeah, like it's obviously I'm sorry, I just need some water. But that the match I thought was it was a solid TV match, but it never felt like semi main event of night one of WrestleMania. Like it didn't feel like one of the four most important matches on the card, and that's just absolutely criminal for me. I thought it was a solid like wrestling match. Like the moves they were doing were athletically impressive, and it made sense over the context of the match, but it's just not. It just wasn't a very wasn't a very entertaining like overall story. But let's on a brighter note, let's move on to something I did enjoy, and that was the main event of night one. It it was it was a triple threat match. Um, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, with the the added twist being that Paul Heyman, who's Roman Reigns' advisor slash manager, um, was in the corner of CM Punk, and um, that that whole dynamic with Paul Heyman and CM Punk being really close friends for a long time. So that's what made the ending of the match so beautiful. I so Paul Heyman slides a chair in the ring, and then he goes in the ring, and fir- first he hits first he hits um first he hits Roman Reigns, then or first he hits CM Punk, and then he gives Roman Reigns the chair and says, "My my tribal chief, like it's yours." Because at this point, Seth Rollins is directly in front of where Roman Reigns is standing, like, and it looks like Roman's about to hit him with the chair, and then Paul Heyman stops him. Paul Heyman stops Roman Reigns, grabs the chair, and then hits him with it. So, and then he just he just hands the chair to Seth Rollins, who just unloads on Roman Reigns, and um, Seth Rollins is now aligned with Paul Heyman. Um, so what a way to end night one. You had night one a lot like night one last year was kind of a mixed bag. You had some good, you had some bad, but all in all, I thought it was a solid show. Let's get into these night two predictions, shall we? Um, yeah, let's do it. So in the Women's World Championship match, which will open the show, it's Io Sky, the champion, in a triple threat match with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Now, um, now all these all these girls are good guys. They're so it's really kind of a there's not much there's not much there's not much sizzle to really this match as a whole for me, just because like all three are kind of friends at some point, and it's the main thing is they just want to prove things to the other one, and it just there isn't that um there isn't that real emotional hook to the story, because all three women at this point in the game are fan favorites, and the the match every that people have wanted to see, at least in pockets of the wrestling community, is Rhea Ripley against Bianca Belair one on one for the women's championship. But since Io Sky was the women's champion, they had to kind of find a way to shoehorn Rhea in there, and I forget exactly how they did it, but I just thought it was very forced. I just it didn't. What I remember is thinking, that's how they did that. Like there couldn't have been like maybe like just a tournament just for some reason, or a battle royal. Like you didn't even it didn't even feel like Rhea Ripley kind of earned it. It was just kind of like here it is, like, and that's the way they kind of they kind of like they kind of did it. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, but um I see Bianca Belair actually, or I see Bianca Belair actually becoming the Raw, um, the Raw Women's Champion in sort of an upset, because I know they're starting to set up Bianca and Rhea, but they're gonna after Mania they're gonna move they're probably gonna have some sort of roster shuffle, so that they'll probably move Bianca Belair over to Raw so she can feud with Rhea Ripley, and we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see how they turn Bianca heel, though, because at this current moment I think she's still technically friends with I think she's yeah they're still tag team partners with Jade Cargill, so it should be interesting to see how Triple H um, does handles that if he does go that route. But we'll see. So with that being said, let's go into the second match of night 2. And it's AJ Styles against Logan Paul. I I think this match is gonna be it's gonna be close to match of the night. Um, I just from a pure wrestling perspective, what those guys can do in the ring, athletically, and the way AJ kind of understands wrestling psychology now at this advanced age in his career can really help someone like Logan Paul who's who's new to the business and um anyway their storyline is based off um it based off the idea that AJ's kind of going on his or he's not going on his farewell tour. I mean, he's not John Cena, but he's on like the back nine of his career, and he's kind of on that 17th hole, and he's getting up there, and and Logan Paul saying like I'm gonna take your spot from you, old man. I'm I was I was um I I think the I think he said something like in one of their promo battles. He said something like I was I was phenomenal um before you or wait, this is actually my fault. This is AJ talking. I was like AJ like Logan Paul would call him old, and AJ was like, "Listen, kid, I was phenomenal before you even knew what the word meant." And from what I remember, that got a reaction from the crowd. They were pretty hot for it. So the basis of their whole story is just Logan kind of like wanting his respect but being a jerk about it. And yeah, I just I I really like the more um the more simple kind of storytelling that they're doing with Logan and AJ, cuz it's something that a lot of people can relate to, like the the next generation coming up and thinking they're they're all that, and they're just the best thing since sliced bread, and the older person got to say, hold on, young, like hold on, I got something a little more in the tank here, so don't count me out just yet. um but yeah, I really have kind of sunk my teeth into that story. And Logan Paul just has like that just that punchable face, and that's what makes him such a great heel. It's just I like I literally like want to like jump through my TV screen and like just oh god, he's just annoying, and that's what he's supposed to be, and he's learned that from like being a social media star, and like have having all these different followings and on every social media app basically ever. um but yeah, I just think that story is really simple, but I do see I if they're giving AJ Styles a program, maybe I could see AJ Styles winning, but it it just it doesn't appear like he's he's gonna be in that upper mid card mix. Um, so because of that, I will say I would give the win to Logan Paul. So uh, Logan Paul will beat AJ Styles. And and for the women's tag team championships, it'll be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez um, defending their titles against the the team of Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, who I believe is the current um, women's Intercontinental Champion. So she has a chance to have chance to have a chance to have two belts, and that would be obviously huge for her career. But I I don't know if there's really like a storyline for like the women's tag division. Just kind of feels like it's there. Like it's it's like we have these titles and we don't know what to do. Like we can't we don't we aren't we don't know what to do with them. And you can build stories about tag team wrestling um like that don't just have to revolve around the title. I mean, it helps, but like I I think the main problem with the women's tag titles since they were first introduced is like there was no there was no real plan for them. It was kind of just a token title, and once your titles kind of become like these prizes from a crane machine, um, like you get a title, you get a title, you get a title. It's kind of it makes fighting for like championships not feel like as special, and especially since the women's mid card divisions on both Raw and SmackDown um, actually have um, actually actually have like singles women's mid card titles. They have the women's Intercontinental for Raw, and they have the the women's the women's US for SmackDown. Um, so it just really kind of watered down like the purpose of the women's tag team titles because they were essentially supposed to be the women's mid card titles, but the fact that they have now two singles ones, it just kind of really waters it down. But I I see Liv and Raquel Rodriguez retaining just because Bailey and Lyra Valkyria just kind of seem like an oddball pairing, like a pairing that was thrown together at the last minute, and I don't see that being a tag team in the future beyond this match. So I would give I would give um, Liv and Raquel the win there. Or I think they're going to win. That's what I mean. And then we're we're in the final three matches here for the Intercontinental Championship. It'll be a fatal four way between Braun Breaker, who's the current Intercontinental Champion, um, versus Penta, versus Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio, and or did I say Rey Mysterio? I meant Dominic Mysterio. I apologize. Um, I was so caught up in talking about Ray yesterday. I completely forgot about Dominic, and also Finn Balor. Like their storyline with who's leading the Judgment Day and all this stuff. I feel like that could finally be the this could finally be the moment of expulsion for Finn Balor. Um, it's such a slow burn story, but I felt they've really told an effective story all the way since it started back, like I want to say either early this year or late last year. So I I can see I can see Finn, or I can see Dominic turning on Finn, booting him out of the group, and then oh god, who I'd probably I can see, and then I'd probably have Braun Breaker like spear Dominic Mysterio, and then and then Penta puts in one of his hits him with the Penta driver to win the Intercontinental Championship. So both Rey Fenix and Penta, both Lucha Bros, will make their WrestleMania debuts, but they will be 1-1. Um, and then for your semi-main uh, event for night 2, it's going to be a street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Um, in this storyline, Drew McIntyre's the troll of all trolls. He's just he's he's making fun of Damian Priest's family. He's just being a tremendous heel, and you want to see him get his ass kicked, and he hopefully he will. Like he's in he's just in for a fight with Damian Priest, just like he was in for a fight with CM Punk. And as good as Drew can give it, he sure as heck can take it. So he's gonna I think that's gonna be a really fun match. But I do see Drew McIntyre winning that match. Um, in kind of a cheating way to sort of set up for another match down the line. So I just think that Drew McIntyre will win, and Damian Priest has gotta kind of go back to the drawing board. And then for your main event, for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes defends against John Cena. To prevent John Cena from breaking Ric Flair's record of 16 world titles, Cody's gotta be in a WrestleMania main event for the third year in a row, but this time he's going in as the champion, so there's added pressure. And then obviously John Cena going after number 17. he turned on Cody at the Elimination Chamber and just just decided he was done with every fan, every concession worker, everything that has to do with WWE. And like C- Cody's perspective is like I like I want to be you, you know what I mean? Like that's why I asked for like the John Cena schedule when I wasn't the champion. I wanted to work every house show, do every greeting, do do everything, and John Cena's like I I've given everything for 20 years, and what did these people do? They boo me. So it's it's essentially um, kind of like the old jaded face of the company the against the new face of the company who's trying to like be the this generation's John Cena. And um John Cena is he's still like kind of he's not like the impervious Superman. Like he had it feels like he had a complete like nervous breakdown. He's like he just wants to not do the Superman thing anymore. He doesn't like talk to the camera guy. He doesn't smile when he makes his entrance. So I think the Cody John Cena stuff was really compelling. Um, and I do see I do see John Cena winning and then dropping the belt back to Cody at, let's say, SummerSlam, and then and then and then you have the rest of this year from after SummerSlam to uh, December, from August to December, to kind of tell the John Cena redemption arc story. But I do think he wins tonight. I and I think he has a good he has a good long like it's a 4 month title reign, but it's gonna mean a lot because um you're obviously not gonna see him every week, so you kind of wonder, could this be the end? But we'll we'll see if Triple H kind of goes that route. I know tradition um, would suggest like John Cena winning number 17 is a babyface accomplishment. Um, but I would think I would have John Cena John Cena cheat to win and say, you see, I was right. I I I don't need any of you. Like, because what is the one thing that any villain in any kind of TV show has? Like the justification for their actions. And with this win, I feel like John Cena would be justified. Um, I really want to thank you guys for listening to this, and as always, ding ding.